Get ready for a talk show like none other. This is the VOD, because size doesn't matter, where charisma and fun take center stage. Join your hosts, Valentine, the Dr. Pepper addicted fembat, and the Phantom Fame, your resident thirst trap, as they navigate through the vast expanse of the internet's most intriguing VTubers. Because it's not about the screen size, it's about the personality. So, buckle up for a talk show redefined. The VOD, because size doesn't matter. Now, give it up for your hosts, Val and Phantom.
That's embarrassing. I had my mic there. Ah! I was scrambling to get my, oh shoot, I didn't unmute my mic. Ah! And now we're off to a wonderful start. Here we go.
Yeah, there it is. Always waiting for when the guest throws Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
It's always the best part of stream.
It really is, though. Whew. Well, this is a fun little start. I love when I can, like, I go live and then I just see people just sitting there. Scared the crap out of me. Thank you for the follow, Cinder. I appreciate it. Cinder Witch of ET. I like that. That's a jeez. Leave me alone.
Pepper 'em, boys.
Rattle 'em. What is it? Hold on. Oh, I know what that is. How? Ugh! The sounds are delayed, and so I'm just scaring myself now. Oh my god!
They're just going ham with it.
Yes, this has to be the most violent start to a show. Hey, Crow. Oh my gosh, Speed is raiding. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the raid, Speed. For those that don't know, Speed Demon here was one of our guests on the show. And Speed was a fantastic guest. Playing Judgment, let's go! I need to finish Judgment. Judgment's such a good game. Thank goodness. I was just about to take a sip from my Sprite here, and I almost just spit out my drink. You wasted that. You wasted that. Sprite, yeah, so I'm donating plasma after I'm donating plasma after I finish stream today. And so I don't like to drink. You're not supposed to drink caffeine. The lounge is closed, but the party still goes on. Prepare your drinks. A bar raid is here. I'm so happy. But yeah, so I'm donating plasma after stream, and with that, I can't drink caffeine before that, so I'm drinking a Sprite. But I already have a Dr. Pepper in my fridge. I have to sleep in like 30 minutes. When else would I use it? That's fair. So, welcome in, Raiders. Thank you again, Speed, for that. But welcome in, Raiders. My name is Val, and this is the VOD. Stands for VTubers on Demand. This is my VTuber talk show, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, the Phantom Fame. And let me tell you something. I'm excited for today's guest. Why is that? Why do you think that is, Phantom?
Is it because he's one of the raiders? As am I?
All right, you settle down there, little man. You are correct. Actually, why don't we create a poll? I want to create a poll. You don't know why? Watch this. I can't spell. Watch this.
Heard the guess is kind of stinky. I haven't gotten close enough yet.
Because why not? Why not? Let's do that for 2 minutes. Start that poll. Let's go. Anywho, I must lurk for now, but this sounds awesome. I'll have to watch the VOD of the VOD if I miss all of this. Yeah, do it. Have fun. And also lurk. There is a lurk chat. I like how it says a nerd. I had to add that as a term. That's really funny. But yeah, we have a lurk command that you can use. So anywho, with that, I am excited for today's guest because I've heard nothing but good things about our guest today, and with that, the amount of work that I've seen this individual put in very recently just makes me very happy to have him on the show. And currently he's been on a little bit of a break, a little bit of a hiatus, and that'll ends tomorrow, where you can catch him on his channel over at, I will say that because I like to talk to about my guest after I introduce him, and I'll say that, but I'll link to that once we get started. But yeah, he will be back from his hiatus tomorrow, and this is kind of like the precursor getting into it. So please stick around, have fun, enjoy, have a Dr. Pepper, throw some Dr. Peppers if you will. Without further ado, why don't we talk about our guest yesterday and our guest next time? So with that, excuse me, so many votes. Oh yeah? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sorry, I'm focused right now.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Times to spend my Dr. Peppers.
Oh yeah? So, our last guest was yesterday with Abbott Internal of Project Astaria. And let me tell you something, Abbott was so much fun to have. Why? Because we talked a little bit after stream, and he reached out to me personally just saying how much fun he had really getting to talk about his love and passion for content creation. And let me tell you something, people. If you want to be a content creator, you want to be a VTuber, learn to have that passion and learn to keep that passion, because it is what will carry you throughout your content creation career. And for him specifically, he's been doing it for 10 years. And so still having that love and that passion 10 years later is something that ultimately you just can't help but admire. And so I encourage you guys to go follow and support Abbott, because he's got some fun things planned in the works. Now, our next guest for the VOD will be this upcoming Friday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we'll be having Nymphy with us. And Nymphy, I've interacted, I think, once or twice, but only in passing, so hopefully I will change that. But yeah, hey, welcome, Grease. Snowy Tequila. Nerd. I just saw that up there. So, but yeah, we will get to have Nymphy as our guest that Friday. And also, fun fact, on the 17th, which is this upcoming Saturday, we'll be having Masumi Miyu, who is also a member of Project Asteria. So that means we'll have 4 people for Project Asteria on my show. Isn't that fun? Now anyway, enough rambling. Like collectibles. Enough rambling about my wonderful guests. I love my guests. They're so cool. Can you ask the person today what's the right way to cut a sandwich? No, I will not. Not because it's not a good question, but because we're not getting into the food debate until later. So, also, pardon me. If you guys are not a part of the Discord, join the Discord. It is growing every day. And we're getting people who join the server every day, and so it's growing, and I'm so excited about that. So join the Discord. There's so many fun things you can do, so many people you can talk to. If you are a VTuber and you want to be on my show, join the Discord, and we will get you set up. It's a lot of fun. I want to get as many people as I can before the show goes on break in April. So join the Discord, have fun with that, and if not, if you want a good reason to, we have fun emotes, and we have a fantastic soundboard. So join that. Now, without further ado, let me talk about our guest. Phantom, are you excited? Because I'm excited.
For Guaco?
For Guaco. Sorry.
He's being chanted about in our chat.
He is being chanted about. It seems that's one of the things I love about this show. That's one of the things I absolutely love about this show, is that you see the overwhelming support from people who come together on my show to see and support their favorite creators. And especially with this, it's really refreshing. It's really nice to see a lot of people in the VTuber community come together and just support their favorite people. And honestly, I feel like you guys in chat are not talked about enough on your love and just dedication to just supporting fantastic people. So please understand that you guys are the real winners and you guys are the real hosts of this show, not me. I'm just a guy who you guys can throw Dr. Pepper at. It's really the guests and it's you guys that are the real hosts of this show, because without it, this show would not work. So without further ado, you know what I'm going to say, right? Same thing I always say. Today, we will be welcoming the celestial dragon lord who has finally left his palace and ventured out among the stars. Now, he truly enjoys the finer things in life, like reading, writing, Magic the Gathering, and being an absolute gamer. I snuck that Magic in because you guys really like Magic. He is a variety streamer who streams anything from Pokemon to Baldur's Gate. Will he ever finish a game? Who knows? But without further ado, fun fact, adieu is possibly the best word you can start with in Wordle. Why? Because it has 4 vowels in it. Anyway, I just thought to bring that up because I find it funny. Here we have the wonderful Guaco! Woo! So Guaco, my boy, everyone's cheering for you. Everybody's chanting you in chat. How are you feeling? How are you doing today?
I am doing well, Phantom. You're not Phantom, you're Val. I'm done.
Am I? Ah!
I'm still here.
Oh no.
There's gonna be a lot of that.
I know, that's fine. I like it. I like getting Dr. Pepper thrown across my face.
Here we go. I just love the idea that, yay, the guest is on. Everybody throws Dr. Pepper at me. It's like, what did I do?
Just, hey,
Oh, thank you, Kilo.
Get him. Get him.
Really just said rattle 'em, boys. Already.
They were not waiting.
So, well, I guess we have to start this off with a bang. So somebody redeemed our ooh. Now, Guaco, you've seen my show before, and
Yes.
whenever I get 2 types of redeems, whether it's an ara ara or an uwu, you know how this goes. And we got an ara ara from Speed right after that. That is hilarious. So, with that sounds check on guest. Yes.
Oh, is it out of? It's not balanced.
Oh no, am I quiet?
Is it robotic?
Oh no.
So it sometimes
Like a
happens.
Robo Dragon Celestial.
Yeah, sometimes the audio gets crunchy and crispy because Discord is a dying app.
Yeah.
So there's nothing much I can do about that. See, this is why chat is here. Ah! Hey, guess who showed up, guys? Let's see. Abbott Internal. I'm gonna shout this man out.
It's the boy.
I know them, they're cool.
What? I'm sorry if I was playing Phasmophobia and all of a sudden I just hear somebody in a really crackly mic go, King Julian! Be the Oh my gosh, that is absolutely hilarious.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I just like the idea that like you don't necessarily need to hear it from the walkie-talkie. I think I'd like to hear it just like you're standing outside the house, you hear it inside. You're like, oh no, it's hunting. And then all you can hear is King Julian!
Ah, thank you, Discord Kitten John. See, that's one of the hard parts about doing a lot of this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Streamlabs' audio mixer is absolutely atrocious. It just every time I stream, I'm always having to boost things or subtract things, and I know, but it should be a little better now. It should be better. So fix it then. I am fixing it.
Fix Streamlabs, Val. Come on.
You can't fix it.
All right.
You can't fix him.
Is that better? Is everybody okay? Much better. Okay, perfect.
Hey.
Cool.
So, hey Guaco, guess what? Guess what time it is?
I know. I don't know. What time is it?
It's time for us to do those redeems. I mean, it's still a little unbalanced,
dear.
yeah, so I can't balance it as much currently because I can't hear everything in real time how it's being presented out of Twitch. So unless I do this, which ready, we're gonna hear double. Twitch.
Ooh.
So unless I
We
do
love
this,
hearing
which
double.
ready, we're gonna hear double.
There's nothing wrong with hearing. Like, look, I've always wanted to hear two of me.
We love hearing double.
Ready? We're gonna hear double.
I never want to hear one of me, much less two of me.
Sorry, I muted myself for the bit.
Okay. I was like, oh, maybe he's balancing it. I was like, how much more do we need to?
2 of Val equals 0 Val.
Yeah. It is a balancing act that I'm having to do. So there's that. There's that. The heck, catnips? What is that? What is that? So my favorite thing is the idea that everybody is just going nuts for everybody in the chat. It's no longer just saying Guaco. It's now everybody saying Vega, just saying, you know, just Salem and all these. Anywho, hopefully the audio is a little better now. I'm trying to spend a little more time focusing on that, but it's not a patented It's Valentine stream.
I said Valentine!
He's beginning to believe.
I'm getting
His belief is being tested.
gaslit. Well, anywho, let's do these redeems. So, on this show, whenever we get an uwu or we get an ara ara, I do it, Phantom does it, and we always extend the courtesy to our guest. Now, oh, thank you, Ice the Haunt. I appreciate the follow. Fun fact, you can throw 50 more if you use your channel points. But yeah, we always extend that to our guest. And I no longer need to say you will no longer be the first, or you will be the first if you decline it. But Abbott had a good reason, and I respect him for that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Nephew's watching is probably the most like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's understandable, yeah.
It do be like that. So, with that, we extend that to you if you want to do it with us, but if you don't, I completely understand. So how about
I'll absolutely do them with you. No worries.
Hell yeah. All right, so we'll start with the uwu. So who redeemed that uwu? I gotta find that. Where was that? Bubbles.
It was Bubble.
So Bubbles, tell me, what order do you want us to do this in? Because you ultimately have the cards, since you redeemed it.
It's your heart of the cards. You know, you get to decide what order you draw us in.
And if we don't hear from Bubbles soon, we'll just have to decide for ourselves. Also, I'm going to open up my iPad and listen on my earbuds and then mix my audio from that.
Cause, oh, yep.
You were in a hardcore shipment? Oh, I understand.
What does that mean?
Oh no.
Call of Duty.
Oh.
Yeah, the map shipment. So, gentlemen, why don't we go from right to left? And I'll start with the uwu, and then we all go into the ara ara in the reversed order. Sound good?
Good to me.
Yeah, we can do it that way.
All right, well, I'll start with that uwu. You guys ready? Uwu? Uwu?
Ooh. And then do I just do my RR? Is that how we're gonna do that?
Yes.
Go into it.
All right.
Wonderful.
This was good.
This is
Oh,
good.
hi Nina. Hi Mom.
Oh, hey, Nina.
It's nothing. Close the door. Knock first.
It's a shame Chiro isn't here. Chiro would just.
They would not be doing well. they might have passed on.
It do be like that sometimes. Well, since we got that out of the way, thank you. I will hydrate my crispy Sprite. I will say, Speed, your RR was very good. I will give you that. because I what I want to do is I want to do like a big like smash cut of like all of my guests' aras. I feel like that'd be really fun.
Ooh.
Speed has a really good aura.
Speed
I will
does
say.
have a good aura. But yeah, so we're going to move to our very first question. Our very first and, dare I say, most important question. And that is... Sorry, I had to wait for that truck
How
to
many
pass.
Dr. Peppers?
So, our very first question, and in my opinion, the most important question is... Guaco, who are you? My gosh! Got another. Chat will do everything except let us ask the first question.
Who needs questions? Am I right?
All right. Ooh woo.
Ooh, woo.
Ooh woo.
So like, there's a question at the end of that ooh woo.
Is there not always a question?
Oh, that's fair. Big smash on what? All right. Moving on. Guaco. Our very first question, and in my opinion, our most important, and that is, who are you, and what is your story?
I'm Guaco. I'm a neat little guy. I don't have much of a story. I'm just a little bit of a VTuber guy now, and oh no, I'm nervous. No, it's the first question. The first question's gonna do this for me. But no, yeah, I'm just a cool little guy that decided one day back in August that I'm gonna be a VTuber. And as a celestial dragon lord, I've been alive for billions of years, so it's pretty cool. Palace gets lonely and boring, so need to branch out.
So since you've been alive for so long, is there anything that you've noticed along the way that you found funny that humans do?
You know, if I have to be honest, I think the funniest things that humans do is get really, really upset over pineapple on pizza.
That's come up so much lately, and I don't know why I keep seeing pineapple on pizza everywhere, but it has been everywhere.
Like it's you know, it's not bad.
Sorry, I just now
I-
hearing the robot noises. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just wish Discord would for once in its life not like break consistently. But back to the pineapple on pizza. I always find it to be an interesting discussion and an interesting debate. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. So then the question becomes, Guaco, is what is your favorite pizza then? If you were so enamored by like these things.
I mean, you know, you can give me a good old pizza of any kind. I do default to a solid cheese pizza, but I do get like extra cheese, like, and but like I will genuinely eat any kind of pizza. I never really have a favorite. Just usually when I get pizza, like at a work function or something, I usually get cheese just because it's like it's a safe bet and nobody ever has a problem with it unless they're, you know, dietary restrictions or whatever.
Yeah, it's
but
reliable.
yeah, old reliable.
So then, if there was one pizza you would not eat, like you have the choice of making the ultimate pizza. You get to see how its creation is. You get to feign all of the judgment. What is the one pizza that you would never in your life have?
I think it would have to be like mushrooms and anchovies mainly. Like I just anchovies are way too salty for me, and mushrooms are a texture thing. But like, and those are things that like if you put those on pizza, like anchovies is 100% for the meme, and like mushrooms, I get people enjoy mushrooms on their pizza, but you know, that personally not my thing. You know, as a celestial dragon, you know, I've had to eat quite a few things with mushrooms, and not good.
So you know what's
Not good.
You know what's funny is that my go-to pizza will always be as just 2 toppings, mushrooms and bell peppers.
Oh no.
Oh no, he
I'm so
says.
I'm sorry that you don't like it. I'm sorry that you disagree. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't like mushrooms. A lot of people don't like bell peppers. I like both. I've never had anchovies on it, but that's my go-to pizza.
I mean, that's understandable though. I like bell peppers though. Bell peppers are good. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to have them on pizza, but I think actually now that you've mentioned it, I think I will give it a good old try now.
The mushrooms have to be like properly cooked. Like if they're not cooked, they're not roasted, it just doesn't taste good. But you know, yeah. So let's move past pizza. I could talk about pizza all day, but I'd rather talk more about you. And so that is, Guaco, you have a unique appearance, and like something that I find that I keep looking at more and more is just your tail.
Yeah, it's a little wiggly guy.
It's a wiggly guy. It just has a mind of its own. And so, one of the first questions I really have for you is, what inspired this design? Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that, Claw. What inspired you to have this design for your model? Like, where did this come from?
Actually, that's really funny. This specific model was done by my lovely model mama Riot. This hairstyle is completely different than what I normally would have, but like all of my inspiration came from just like searching through Pinterest and just randomly finding just a bunch of different, you know, like dragon based things. I knew that I was going to be a dragon. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it. And with this, my artist gave me the tail. It was actually entirely her idea. So I can't take credit for the tail. But like I wanted to have a Eastern, more Asian kind of outfit, as well as a long hair. I've always been enamored with long hair, and I love green. And I mean, who doesn't like horns? And like, I love how the horns are, especially just with all 4 of them. It looks too good to pass up.
I mean, clearly, a lot of your, pardon me, a lot of your community really resonates with a lot of the aspects of your model, but I feel like it's not just your model, it's also the presentation you give too. Like, for instance, something that I see a lot, not only on your social media, but whenever I pop into your streams or I see, and I even saw it on my chat, and I see it as a first-time chatter for Ice the Hunt, is Grandpa Kermit. Now, something I've seen a lot is art or some form of a representation of you as Kermit the Frog. Now, can we talk about that a little bit?
I mean, we can, and I will gladly tell you my lovely story of Kermit the Frog.
Please do.
So I'm a big, I do a lot of voices that are just like little stupid voices when I'm like driving, you know, and like, you ever get those songs that like you sing along to and you can't hit the correct pitch, so you just start singing them in really stupid voices.
Of course.
Yeah, I cannot tell you what song it is now that I think about it. I know I would find it if I was listening to like the radio, but there was a song that every time I sang it, I would hit the perfect pitch of Kermit the Frog. And then one day I just was like doing it while I was at work, and my coworker just said, "You do a really good Kermit." And it was right before I started streaming. So of course, when I hit affiliate, I was like, well, we're just gonna make that a redeem. And my chat loves when I do Kermit. They love it. I cannot make it. I can't explain it. I will never be able to explain it. They also love to make me do an ara ara when I'm Kermit. That is another thing that they love. But yeah, no, I do a crap ton of voices and ended up stumbling upon just the fact that I can do a pretty
Guaco,
good Kermit.
Guaco, my boy, my lad, my celestial my lord. Can you please bless us with this Kermit ara ara?
you know, I can do that. You know,
What do I have to do? What do I have to do?
This is power I do have.
you're just such a nice guy, Val. I'll do it. I'll just do it for you. You know.
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty. Here we go. And that's it.
If you take that and you draw it out a little bit, can you make it more of like an kind of thing?
I don't know. I've never tried it just because of like usually when I'm doing my Kermit redeem, I want it to be over as quickly as possible.
That sounds like something that you and Phantom have in common. Like you guys love all of your redeems, but they're just some that you're like, all right, let's get this over with.
The people look. You got to please the people, but at the same time, you got to also maintain some form of sanity.
Exactly.
Sometimes the compromise is too great.
That's fair. I can understand.
They just can't believe I don't know why it's so beloved. Never will understand.
So, Yiz chat make him suffer. So then the question follow up with that is, are there any like channel redeems you have that are really synonymous with you? Like for instance, you have your Kermit the Frog redeem, and like that is something you just like you want to get over. Like for instance, don't get me wrong, guys, the Gilbert Gottfried is really fun and funny. That's one of those things I just want to be over. I'm just saying, that's just one of those redeems. I'm like, please, Lord, make this 1 minute go by really fast. So are there?
It's when you make it last 5 minutes that it's hell.
Let's see. So that's the thing. The one I have yet to get yet is Femboy mode. Is the one I created because I thought why not? And it is Val will embrace his true nature of being a femboy bottom for 5 minutes, can stack for a longer duration. So I have yet to get that redeemed, but that's what I'm really excited for because it's much easier for me to do that. My femboy, more lore femboy persona for longer periods of time than just doing the Gilbert Gottfried. That just absolutely racks my throat.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like I don't know about you because you can also do a pretty good Kermit. Like yours is really good.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know about you, but like Kermit will wreck my throat if I do it for too long. Like,
no, I can. Yeah, I completely understand because if you want to do a good Kermit, you kind of have to push a little bit of your throat forward. And if you have an Adam's apple, you have to shove that high into your higher throat part. Surely we can't stack and make Femboy Gilbert. What does that even mean? What is it?
That could happen. I could see it.
Phantom, don't you
the world needs to know.
Phantom, don't you enable this behavior?
Look, if there's one thing I know about Guaco, it's how much he loves to stack shit. It's what he does. I don't think I've ever walked into a Guaco stream and not seen things stacked on him. So,
yeah, 100%. Especially when I'm using my PNG tuber. It's my little tower of me.
Wait, let me see if I can find because I have my group. I should have my group source, and I want to see if I can find that because that'd be really funny. Let's see. So if I take if I take this and I go and type instead group.
Oh no.
What is?
Oh no! No, please!
It's licking your chest. It's licking the vertical crease in your chest.
Oh no!
Wish that were me.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Oh no!
We're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of that.
It's been clipped.
I'm sorry, children, if you saw that. Therapy is not free, but I encourage it. It isn't yummy Guaco licking yourself in public. Guaco's like, I'll do many things, but that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt me when I do it. Oh my gosh.
I'm not even the one that did that though.
You spoke. Technically, you were the one who was licking.
Oh fuck! It's true.
Guaco beat me to it.
Yeah.
Well, my goodness. So, is this model? Is this your first model, or is this a different model? Like,
This is my second model.
Your
My
second
my model mama. Yeah, she's my model mama is testing out a bunch of new stuff with her model making abilities. I am her only male VTuber child.
mhm.
So I'm a lot of testing with her in terms of like skin, facial expressions, and stuff like that. So I'm very new. So she's actually making me another one. It sadly was not ready for the stream today, but I'm excited for it. It'll be ready by Valentine's Day, hopefully.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh.
Valentine's Day, that is Wednesday, right?
Yes, it is.
Now, you do know, I'm pretty sure, you know what the Chinese zodiac is this year, right?
I believe that I've been seeing that it is the dragon.
It is the year of the dragon. So because of that, is there anything that you're wanting to do or anything that you can see, especially since you are a dragon, you are a dragon lord? Is there anything that you could see yourself doing to kind of maybe, celebrate that?
I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of art this year once some stuff gets taken off. I am doing an entire relative rebrand probably around the time that I get some once my anniversary comes up, but for the actual like start of Chinese New Year, I don't think I have anything planned.
I see. Now, because we're talking about goals and you're talking about these things, is there anything really that you have planned in the works that you're willing to talk about then?
I mean, I have no problem sharing the fact that I am actually getting my live 2D model worked on currently. It's I've been in touch with the artist that actually designed my character because she does models as well, and we've been in talks getting that designed. I'm not gonna share any like pictures or anything, but yeah, it's in the works,
Of course.
and I think it's relatively close-ish to done. Like I think maybe in the next month or so I'll get it done, and then I'll be sending it off to a wonderful rigger that I have been in contacts with to get it rigged.
There you go. Because for me, I have my 2D model is done. It's finished. It's rigged. I just have to debut it now, and so I'm just waiting for the right time, and I'm going to be doing it soon, to do it. And so I can only imagine how much work and communication goes on between the scenes, because like for me, there was a couple revisions that I had to do with my 2.0, and the thing is, it's a lore accurate model. Lore accurate. We talked about lore yesterday, where I prefer my 3D model. I like my 3D model because it allows me to have that flexibility, and it's just much easier for me to manage with like VC Face and Face Motion 3D. So I probably won't be using my 2D model as much, but regardless, it's still one of those things that you just can't help but see, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. I'm flatter than a board. Yeah, bat supremacy. So, but how long have you been planning this? How long have you been trying to, design and just get this off the ground?
Well, fun fact, I just went to my Discord messages just in case you asked me. Since November 17th is how long that I have been in contact with my artist in terms of like them actually starting it. I actually, since when I was getting my design done, I already knew that I wanted to be a VTuber. So I've been in talks with them about this. Like I told them when they made my design that I was going to commission them for my model. So I've been in contact with them for almost a year now, technically, but it has been in the works since November.
Dang. Well, I can only imagine how cool it'll be. Like, you're seeing all that on the inside, and you're seeing what you can do with it. Like, I have to at least ask, are there toggles?
I'm going to make sure that there is so many.
Yeah, because like Phantom, my favorite thing about Phantom is that the toggles that he has are not the most elaborate things, and that's wonderful because he just throws them all out and just like I'm like suddenly goes from Phantom to Doctor Strange real quick.
Having the million arms, all of them up at once,
Oh yeah.
always catches people off guard.
It really does though. Because when I first saw it, I'm like, you can stack that all at once, and then when I actually got my model and I saw the toggles that I have, it occurred to me, oh yes, you can stack all of those toggles on if they are things that can be overlaid. Like for instance, for my 2.0 model, I have a glasses toggle so I can take my glasses off. It's a small thing, but I'm like, I'm actually really happy that I can take the glasses off. Cause why not?
I'm gonna be putting glasses on, so that's gonna be one of mine.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I have a second outfit that I wear, like these really cool looking sunglasses.
Heck yeah.
And I just told my model artist, I'm like, I want these to be able to be on any outfit. They look so cool. I need them.
I see. Speed said, random thought in my head, could you all do a different voice for about 2 minutes non-stop and continue the interview as normal? That would be funny. That would be very funny. What about you guys?
I mean, I don't know. I you know, it's really an interesting thought, and I could just see myself just, you know, getting different toggles.
Phantom?
I mean, I think that the toggles are really one of the they're probably one of the most important parts of the model itself, is what you can do with it and what changes when you go from 3D to 2D.
You know, you got a very good point on that. And then see, Guaco, that leads me kind of into my next thought process. My next question is, I really have to ask, what are your thoughts on the whole idea of having multiple models, multiple different like versions of yourself? Because when you look at all the different VTubers that are out there, it's just sometimes really, it can be overwhelming when you see your VTuber, like your favorite creator, change your appearance so much. And like, is that something that you want to have, is just a library full of different outfits?
It's kind of more along the lines of like, I really want to just be able to go out and you know, kind of like, you know, you're going out to a fancy dinner and you want to have, you know, your good suit or whatever, and that's just kind of what I want to try to get with my models, is like, you know, some weeks I'll have, you know, this model on, some weeks I'll have a different model, and then, you know, like my Valentine's Day one will not just specifically be for Valentine's Day, but it's like I'm gonna be in a suit for just a little bit of a teaser, so it'll be like, kind of like, you know, special occasions I'll throw that one on as well, and just kind of stuff like that. I kind of want to have the diversity of, like, you know, fancy clothes, quote unquote.
So it's more of you're following the idea that it's better to have many and not use as many than want to have it but not be able to actually, you know, have it. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here.
I see. Now, because recently I've seen a lot of major, like, bigger VTubers. They're really changing their looks a lot. But one of the constants I see is there's a lot of big boobed VTubers. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, you know, I big fan, and always will appreciate a fellow big booba. You know, as you can see with my chest here, I do have a booba window, and they're relatively nice.
Phantom, what do you think on that?
I mean, I think that they're very nice. I'm wondering more. Could you add more of like a green to your ensemble? I think
I
that
agree.
it could use a little more green.
You could use a little more green.
My second outfit is almost like entirely green.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love green.
Yeah, I also love green. Green is a good color.
Green is a good color.
But yeah, it's certainly something that you see a lot of the VTubers these days. I'm just seeing myself. I'm like, did they get bigger? Like, is that what I saw? I'm just thinking to myself, it really does spark the argument of, is this at the end of the day, is it okay to say, yes, I want a bigger chest because I will get more traction and I will get more attention because people like boobs or people like those accentuated features? You know, what do you think on that?
I mean, I don't see a problem with people, you know, like having larger Hanagahoos for the, like, you know, thinking they'll get more views, or if that's just how they want to portray their character. Like, I think it's fine because I mean there are normal streamers that are presenting stuff like that as well. So I mean I think it's very okay for VTubers to be doing it as well.
Do you think
I mean, you can draw parallels to real life where it kind of goes into like, you can wear what you want. Like there are women and people that have chesticles IRL that that sort of are just like, yeah, like I'm gonna go out and I'm going to accentuate this because this is just how I want to look, and it's like it's just a choice. It's just another choice to be made. It's same thing with like the body positivity movement where it's like I've been seeing a rise of like models that are like plus size VTubers, and not just like chest and thighs, but just like in general, like they're just heavier set, and they're just like, yeah, I just want it to be a little more like realistic rather than being like
it offers diversity,
like ripped abs, super cut, massive biceps,
throbbing,
like this
vein
Adonis
thighs.
I mean, my favorite VTuber is somebody that has a more plus-sized model, and like she did it all herself, they did it all themselves, and like it's just amazing.
So the question becomes: Do you think big ol' Tonhonga Cougars, bigger Bonkonaga Hoogs, humongous, do you think those at a certain point can get distracting and just take away from the overall attention of your model? Unless, and this is putting past the, the intention of, yes, I want to put a big chest because big views, but rather this is how I am in real life. I have a bigger chest size and I want to emulate that. Do you think there's at a certain point having these kind of accentuated features, regardless of whether they are those kinds of specific areas, do you think you can be too distracting with a model?
I think it's more like it would be the physics more than the actual size,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will say that like like people like there are a couple of VTubers out there that have relatively large chests, and their models like are wonderfully done and it doesn't distract from them. But then there's like a couple other models that I've seen that have smaller chests, and they just have extreme physics, and I feel like that would take more away from the model than the actual size of them.
That's fair. It's funny that you said that, because recently some of like the coolest models I've seen, the jiggle physics on some models are dialed to 11. That's funny. Some of the coolest models I've actually seen are 2D models. Like, where I feel like we're getting to a point where VTuber models as a whole are evolving to a point where the second dimension is no longer a plane of flatness, and we're getting into an era where suddenly these PNG, that's what I meant, PNG. These PNG models are no longer relegated to just yes, it flickers on and flickers off whenever you talk. And now it's getting much more animated. It's getting much more it has more feeling, more life, more vibrancy. And I get all of that is just coming from people realizing, well, you know what? You don't need to spend $8,000 on a model. And I say that because about $8,500 is about how much you can pay for one of the best VTuber artists who does a lot of the models for like Iron Mouse. Or let's see, it was like Iron Mouse, Zentreya. I want to say there was another indie, but like a lot of those V Shoujo models, that's how much they charge. It's $8,500 USD for that. And just, I think some of the coolest models I've seen are just these really cool, and a lot of time and attention put into just these PNGs,
Yeah, I completely agree. Especially like the ones that I've seen a few that are like animated as well. Like they're just like little GIFs. So it's like, they'll have like hair movement, and like they're like just very fluid in terms of like, when they go from not talking to talking. And those are really impressive to me, like rather than going for the like 10 grand models,
Not
you know, because it's like they look great, yes, but you know,
Yeah, well, not only that, I just feel like there's just so much that's happening recently where innovation is just occurring where suddenly you don't have to spend this copious amount of money on having these big models. Or like, if you take Abbott, for example, his new model debut, he got one of the pre-made ones and made modifications to it with permission from the original artist and made that something into his own. And I feel like that's a very good starting point to have, is like if we move to like in the future seeing models becoming more affordable where people are making pre-made, pre-rigged models, all you have to do is make any additions, change colors or change hair. I feel like that gateway to becoming a VTuber content creator suddenly opens it to many other people that couldn't have otherwise been able to do that. Thanks to jiggle physics, this is how Isaac Newton discovered gravity. To make it more family friendly, the discovery applies to apples. How dare you bestow this physics knowledge on us? Today I learned Booba fell from the tree. It does. That's why they're called low-hanging fruit. Anywho.
oh no.
I'm gonna sit up in my chair. We're getting to the first hour, like the first hour down of our show. So why don't we move to our recurring segment that you will like? You wanna know why? It's because chaos. I don't like the connotation of apple falling on his head being converted to this. I see. So, as many of you guys know, I have... Oh, there's something in my eye. As many of you guys know, I have a chart. I have a chart that I put on this channel. It's a very special chart. It's a good chart. And I always like to show this to my guests to see what they think and what their thoughts are on it. So, this is the food flow chart. And I'm going to put this actually down here so it doesn't take up our wonderful friend.
Don't worry, I understand. It's okay.
So this right here is our flow chart.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Phantom doesn't like it. That's okay. I want your thoughts on this. Now, how it goes is, this is just talking about, this is how we define a food. Is it goes into the 4 basic food groups. Soup, steak, salad, sandwich. Okay? It's like a Devil May Cry ratings chart, rating that you'll get, a quadruple S. And so, we want to look at food like this, is that if you have something, or something exists, if something just exists, is it going to be eaten? If no, don't worry about it. If maybe, if you're unsure, or there's things that prevent it from being eaten, or decided yes or no, that maybe just keeps cycling back into the first question. It just keeps being cycled back into the first question until it can be answered yes or no. So then we look. If it says yes, is it state of matter, a solid, or a liquid? If it's a liquid, it's a soup. If it's a solid, we go on to the next question. Is it a single mass or multiple parts? If it's a single mass, it is a steak. It is a honkin' steak. If it's multiple parts, then it's a layered dish. And if... Pardon me. Oh my gosh. That Sprite is fighting me! I'm burping. Is it a layered dish? If no, it's a salad. We'll get to that speed! People keep asking me about pizza! Alright. So, is it a layered dish? No, it's a salad. If it's not layered, then it's a sandwich. And this is how we define things. Water is soup. Ice is steak. Shaved ice is salad. How do you see it? How is that an issue? So, ready? Are you ready for this? If I take a watermelon is a solid, that makes it a steak. Now, because that is one singular mass. Now, if I cut it in half, well, suddenly that becomes, it's still single, it's still solid. But if I take the insides and ground it up and turn it into juice, that's now suddenly a soup, because that's watermelon. That's watermelon juice. It's a soup. So yes, water equals soup, ice equals steak, shaved ice equals salad. That does still apply. Because we're not looking at all of 2 ice cubes is not a sandwich. So cake. Oh, hey,
Cake
Willow,
is definitely
welcome.
a sandwich.
Welcome, Willow. Yep, cake is a sandwich.
Yeah.
Now, if you're gonna say a cookie cake, I'd say cookie cake is a steak. If it's just because, at least in my experience, I think I haven't had many cookie cakes in my life. But the cookie cake I had, unless it has like frosting or something on top, it's a steak. Vega's just getting. I just love the idea of just Vega. They're just going. 2 ice cubes is not a sandwich. But yes, 2 ice cubes would make it a sandwich. If they were stacked on top of each other, yes. If they were sitting in a bowl, no. They're just freely moving.
No, then it's a salad.
As a salad. See, Phantom's been awfully quiet about this.
I'm just waiting.
Just
I'm
waiting.
just observing.
Yeah. So then my question to you then, Guaco, is what are your thoughts on this chart? How do you feel?
I don't hate it, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that I can definitely see the truth of. And that I think I hate that. I hate the fact that I can see how it works.
Well, so that's why I said if it doesn't have frosting, if it does not have frosting, then it's a steak. So here's a picture of a cookie cake. That's a cookie cake. If you want to be that pedantic about it and say yes, the frosting is a layer, you're more than fine. This is a chart for your heart. And yours, in however you feel about it. But that's what a cookie cake is. And so there's nothing layered about the wait. So if the salad ice cubes melt, do they go from salad to soup? What is the intermediary phase of that, Val? There is a phrase for it. Wait, so steak is is a steak with frosting a sandwich? Yes. Yep. It's a sandwich because that's layered. But as soon as you like if you chop up the steak with the frosting on it and like put it in a bowl and mix it up, that suddenly becomes a salad. A steak with frosting is a crime against humanity. It really is though. Let's see.
Mashed potato frosting, it's fine.
So there's a name for it. I can't remember. It's just called a phase change whenever a state of matter is changed. But yes, so if
Bankai.
if its state of matter changes, then it will follow suit. So if like I said, if I suddenly squeeze a watermelon so hard that it becomes juice, well, that's now a soup. Is mashed potato frosting? This chart still needs some additional thoughts and doesn't work. How? Explain, John. Explain yourself. It's not really a solid nor liquid. We're not getting into the oobleck of this chart. There is no food oobleck. That is not. We're not getting down that rabbit hole. Because the thing is that. Gosh dang it. I give you solid or liquid. Mashed potatoes is still technically a solid.
It is still a solid, 100%.
It is still a solid. We don't have what about white rice? White rice would be a salad. Oh no, Blue is here. I'm so sorry, Blue. A smoothie would be
Liquid.
Yeah, it'd be a liquid. And then you're gonna be like, so what's the difference between mashed potatoes and a smoothie? I can't give you all the answers. I can't. If I did, I'd be God, and I don't want to be God, because that's just far too much responsibility, and I don't want to hear voices. I already hear voices. Just
I don't want to hear voices.
understanding the middle phases or what separate us from monkeys, they are important, Val. Look, just because, yeah, exactly, it doesn't quite work in the state. No, it doesn't need to be reworked. Let's see. All right. What state of matter are mashed potatoes?
If that comes up with something, I will be interesting. That'll be interesting.
Somebody points to TSA. Yes, we have had an RR. J-Droid, welcome. Also, by the way, because I love pointing out in chat, Blue, Vega, and J-Droid were all 3 of my guests on the show, and they are wonderful. So what constitutes a solid? So you have to kind of break that down. But yeah, what state of matter are mashed potatoes? If they're made, and this is the question they asked, they said, if they're made well, they sort of behave like a solid, but if they're crappy, they're more liquidy. Seems like quality shouldn't affect the state of matter. And somebody said, a liquid takes the shape of its container. Mashed potatoes will eventually do, so I'm going to say it's a liquid. Now somebody says, food scientists here. I think they're a solid starch network with liquid trapped inside, so I'm going with solid.
I mean, I think the easiest thing to ask is like when you get mashed potatoes and like, you know, kind of like they said, like, you know, not shittily prepared mashed potatoes, but like, do mashed potatoes flow?
I know how to fix this. I know how to fix this chart. I know how to fix this chart.
Can't fix him.
So Coraz a breakdown. You wanna know why? You wanna know why I know how to fix this? Because I'm gonna do this. You ready? I know exactly how to fix this.
I'm so ready right now. I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen.
So Phantom, what are your thoughts? Because you've been a little quiet about this.
What specifically?
You just haven't said as much.
Is there a food in particular that we're debating, or just the chart?
It's just the chart.
It's the same chart as yesterday. It comes back. It's like a revenant.
And what I love about this is every guest I've had presents a unique thing about it. And that's really why I love it. It's still broken. I'm fixing it. Is it perfect? No. There we go. Oh, hold on. This stream is sponsored by Lucid Chart. So we have that. We have that. Because not everything can be put into a box and defined. Unless you try really hard. And I'm okay.
But you can get mashed potatoes in a box.
You can get mashed potatoes in a box. If you're trying to get mashed...
Buy them that way.
What was that?
I said you can buy them that way. And you know what? If you make all of it and then you realize you're not going to eat all of it, you can put it right back in the box.
Okay, so the question is, what kind of mashed potatoes do you like? Like, what do you like? Phantom, I know you don't like mashed potatoes.
What?
I'm not a big mashed potato fan.
See? He's not a big mashed potato fan.
I mean, I'm not gonna, like, I'm not gonna be upset about it, but I do quite like mashed potatoes, so... But it's understandable if somebody else doesn't. Oh, that's understandable, yeah. If you have them a lot. Like, that's me with chicken nuggets.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had COVID, like, back when COVID first started, and I got McDonald's chicken McNuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And explicitly only ate those for the entire 2 weeks that I had COVID.
Whoa.
That's rough.
My man.
Not immaculate.
It was horrible. No.
You know, and if people don't like this chart, that's okay. Sorry, continue.
Oh no, it's just legitimately just I can now no longer even like look at a McDonald's McNugget without like wanting to puke. It's just horrible now.
It is one of those things that if you have enough of it, you just slowly start to be like, what is existence? Existence is pain. Now, is there a food that you can eat over and over again and not get tired of?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
100% mac and cheese.
What kind of mac and cheese?
I like to make it like at home. I just get a shit ton of cheese, like 5 different kinds, and I don't get to make it as fancy as I used to. But I just have like some regular mac and cheese. I get Gouda, Munster, cheddar, and oh, what is the 5th cheese?
What is the 5th cheese?
What is the 5th cheese?
I haven't made my mac and cheese like this in a while. Oh no. It's not pepper jack. Why do I want to say it's pepper jack? I'm not looking up all the kinds of cheese there are. I think it's like probably mozzarella, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. The chart is almost done. And there we go. It's like a D&D alignment chart.
Ooh.
All right, so let me export it. PNG, download, generating file, process complete. There's that.
Enhance.
Enhance. So, and this is the last thing we'll talk about, and then we'll move on. Ready? There you go. We fixed it. Wait.
I haven't.
I messed up. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna fix that later. It's supposed to be unsure instead of maybe. It's supposed to be unsure, but you guys get the idea. If you're unsure of what it is, just don't worry about it.
Unsure.
This is worse. You just made a scapegoat to everything. Yeah, I
It
did,
is.
but guess what?
It is a scapegoat, but I think that does fix the flaw.
It does, and I didn't.
It
That's
100%
unsure.
does.
Maybe if it says unsure, because that's John is not pleased.
Can I program the chart into a tool for people to use? Go for it.
Oh god, droid, why would you do that?
So, anywho, we're moving past the food chart. We're done with our little break. Let's move on to something I think is really important to discuss, and that is Guaco. You have been on a hiatus recently. Is that true?
I have. Yes, I have.
Now, can you share what motivated you, or what led to the decision of you wanting to take a hiatus from streaming?
I won't be going into too great of detail, but I was in I was in a long-term relationship, and we branched out of that. We are no longer together, and then a solid couple days later, I got laid off of my job.
Oh no!
So, yeah, so so I was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna just take a hiatus and not we're just gonna hopefully get away from the like stress of coming into chat and just worrying about everybody seeing, you know, me be in a state of not current me, of, you know, back to my relatively normal self, you know, but
of course,
that way I'm, you know, good for everybody, and everyone's like, you know, oh, he's not just playing this game and like getting bored of it really quickly, he's actually enjoying his time playing it. So
Well, good on you
yeah.
for being able to get back on in the saddle like so quick.
I was gonna
Like
say
that's some good mental fortitude, my guy.
it's something interesting that I've brought up to other guests before is it wise to have that level of vulnerability with your community and with your audience? Because for someone like Phantom, he very much is he's open about a lot of things in his personal life that don't immediately dox him. Now, with that, he makes sure he has that semblance of privacy, but he still is open. He's like, hey guys, I'm just not feeling good. I don't know if I can stream today, or, you know, I'm having these problems where just some things that are popping up, you know, with the kiddos, trying to do that. So I'm gonna take some time, and I'm gonna be with my wife, and I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my family and we're okay. And so I'm not gonna stream. And so that's a very bold and very powerful thing to do and to share with your audience. And
I dropped some bombs.
yeah, and so in your experience with that, how has adding that level of vulnerability not only helped you but strengthened your bond with your community?
It's just really been it's been nice to be able to share that with everybody and let them see a little bit of an insight into like what I'm going through. It just helps me. It does help me feel a bit closer to everybody, and I got so much support. You know, when I announced my hiatus, and I had so many people reaching out to me, trying to, you know, make sure I was okay. So many people. So I had such a strong the way that best way I've described it is I had so many people that were my rock throughout this whole thing. They were very nice and very, very helpful to me. And it's just been, I don't really know how to describe it with how much it's helped, really. Like, I don't think I could have made it through this without my community, and my community's meant the world to me through it all. So
Guacos, you should hydrate. It says Rouge Claw.
Rogue, how
Rogue,
dare you
excuse
tell
me, I
me
said
what to do?
Rouge.
Oh no, it's okay. You could call him Rouge. I call him Rouge all the time because he's a little stinker, but you know,
Rouge the
he's
Bat.
it do be Rogue, but you know, it's fun calling him Rouge.
So, with that said, during your break, were you able to find the necessary time that you needed to sort of really reconnect with your motivation and your love for content creation? Because I know some people who go on a hiatus, sometimes they find that it goes longer than they think because they're like, I just don't feel ready to come back yet. And so, you know, how did you find anything that really pushed you to be like, yeah, I can't wait to come back? You know, this is just, I'm enjoying my break and my time for this, but also this is really exciting me and pushing me to get back into the saddle.
With so many of my friends being streamers as well, it was actually very easy for me to just be like, I want to get back to streaming as ASAP so I can get on and play games with all my friends. Because, you know, like it gave me a lot of ideas for streams. And that just made me want to get back into it. I'm going to be like, hopefully stepping up my content creation game. I'm gonna hopefully start making some TikToks soon and just stuff like that. So like, actually, I think this has helped me immensely in terms of that. So
I mean, I can only imagine just seeing that kind of passion, that love for just jumping in and just be like, you know what, I think I am ready to come back, and I'm ready to fight back harder than I have. And because it's going on a hiatus is risky. It's very risky. Like, how did you come to that realization? Besides the things that you were facing prior, you know, how did you rationalize that and accept that, you know, things might change when you come back?
It was more along the lines of like, I had to. I just didn't see a way to not come, you know, like take a hiatus. I was like, I have to do this for me. And when I got all the love and support that I did for it, I just, you know, saw that my community was like, yeah, we care about you and we want you to be okay. So please take care of yourself. And I'm like, okay, so I definitely made the right decision here.
I am so glad you made the decision. Pardon me, I was giggling because I see your food chart is like the Catholic Church and the scientific revolution. Oh, science? Oh, nah, you don't need to worry about that stuff. So at the end of the day, guys, just remember, the food flow chart is a joke, and it's a meme, and I try my best to make it as sound as I can, but don't take it too seriously. You know, I just want to remind people that, you know, sometimes it can be hard to realize that that is a joke. So, and that's what I had to remind myself and not get so invested, because I didn't want to get so heated with it. So just remember, the food chart is a joke at the end of the day. So yeah. So
you telling me my Dr. Pepper is not a soup?
Your Dr. Pepper is a soup. It is spice. It is a spicy, licoricey, like pruny soup.
It is a delicious soup.
It is a very delicious soup. Now, pardon me. So coming back after Val's the outdated teacher that says there's only 3 states of matter. What do you mean? Enough on that. Coming back after a break, it can be really, really exciting with all of the things you got going on, but it can also be scary. So what changes or improvements can your audience see from you that will effectively help the longevity of your channel? Because again, getting out of a situation like that, you know, suddenly it gives you a little bit of clarity, and so having a little bit of a better mental health, in that, you know, what can your audience expect to see from you besides, hey, I'm ready to take on these challenges, I'm ready to do this, are there any other things that we can see and look for on that?
I mean, my streams will probably be a bit longer and the schedule will be a bit different because of just the fact that, like, I'm not going to be coming home from work and having to sit down and stream. Instead, I'll be doing, whatever I do these next few weeks while I, go on that job hunt. But like my streams will be longer. I'll be able to just really set some work down to the grindstone on it. I know that, like, this isn't anytime soon, but I am redoing a lot of my actual, like, lore and stuff like that. This is actually giving me a lot of free time for it, so a lot of new stuff will be happening with me personally. So, like, I'm excited for that.
I can only imagine seeing that free time is just like last year. One of my supervisors, I used to wax floors, and I talked about it before. I used to wax floors, and at the time, I was so slammed with work, and I was very it was a point in my life where I was balancing a part-time job. But the thing is, I was having to pick up the slack that my supervisor left behind because he had graduated and he had finally gotten the job that he wanted to work in social services and juvenile corrections. And he's like, all right, I have no reason to continue working here, so I'm gonna go. And he left, and I had to pick up a lot of his slack. At the time, I was taking a full course load of 12 credits, so I was a full-time student and as a part-time worker, but I had the responsibilities of a full-timer. And I was just so exhausted and so unsure of myself, and I was at my lowest mentally I had been probably in such a long time. And it got to the point where I was offered a full-time job, a staff job, which is rare where I work. And I was offered his job where I would have gotten a full-time job, I would have gotten a much bigger pay raise, I would have gotten PTO, insurance, all of this stuff. And when it was offered to me, I turned it down. Because I said, I was called into my supervisor's office, like the guy above my supervisor, and I was called into his office, and he said, hey, have you thought about applying for the job? And I'm like, oh yeah, I thought about applying for it. I don't know yet. And he's like, well, you should, you'd be a great fit for it. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do it if I actually got the job. And, he said, well, what if I were to tell you we were just going to give you the job? And I looked at him and I said, that's really wonderful and all, but I think that I would decline it because I don't think I could trust myself mentally, having all the stress I do now, to do it. And honestly, turning down a full-time job from being a part-time college student to a full-time job where I also got 6 free credits a semester. Like, as a college student, I have student loans. Like, 6 free credits a semester, plus I get insurance and PTO and all that. And I looked at him and I said, then I would decline the job. Because I don't think that I would be, given how I am right now, I don't think that I would be in a current state to adequately do my job. And he said, well, you know what? You can, you'll be in a good spot. You'll have plenty of people. Nobody's expecting you to be the best. You can be into it. I'm like, I know that. But I feel like at a point where I am right now, I think I should fix my mental health and make sure I am in a good spot mentally to go forward. And then after that, a couple days, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to take a break from this job. And I'm going to transfer. And he's like, okay, yeah, you can do that. That's fine. And I'm like, all right. So I took a month-long break from work. I focused on my studies. And I really took the time to just focus on myself. And when I came back, instead of working as a custodian, I went to waxing floors, like more part-time. That was just my job, was waxing floors. I did that at a different time. I rearranged my schedule. And honestly, having that break is what made me realize how much people need to take breaks. There just needs to be that. And for you to decide that, especially in a part where you are, nothing but massive respect from me.
Yeah. that's an amazing story as well. Like that is good Val lore that I never got to, or you lore I didn't know, and that is amazing. I that's huge respect from me as well to you, because that is a very inspirational story as well, because that is something that I feel like is lost on a lot of people these days. Is taking breaks is important, and you stepped back and you took that break, and it turned out it seems very well for you. So,
and what's funny that a lot of people don't really think about is that the amount of opportunities that really come from taking a step back and looking forward and seeing where you're going, the amount of opportunities that come from it, I feel like people don't often take a look at. Like, for instance, I would not be working in the audio engineering job I am now for about a year and a half if I did not leave. If I accepted that job, I would not have been as invested as an audio engineer and really honed that and actually gotten the voiceover work I've done. That wouldn't have come about if I didn't take that break. And so it's one of those things that you just kind of have to have a little faith in yourself if you're going for that sort of jump. Because if you're really running yourself into the ground doing all of this content slog work, at the end of the day, it's just going to hurt your mental health. And I feel like we're moving into an age of content creation, but not only as an age of humanity where mental health is slowly being more and more valued.
Yeah, and thank God for that. Because that was such a big thing at my personal job. Before I was laid off, a lot of us were just really happy about how serious they were starting to take mental health. And because especially where I live, seasonal depression, that is something that hits really hard, and that's just something that the mental health, and just with how much everything is around me as well, mental health is at an all-time interesting phase, so it's really important these days, and I'm glad that it's becoming such a huge focus. I think it's just more people that are affected by mental health are starting to become the people in important places, and more research is being done on mental health, and it's becoming more prevalent. Thank you. Sorry, English is my first language and I don't know how to use it.
Same. Yeah, it's certainly something that I feel like, because we're seeing a lot of that recently, whether people content creators, the amount of YouTubers that are just leaving the platform because they're I've had my time, I'm ready to move on, I'm ready to take a break and then go back into something new. It's something that I feel like it's good that we're finally seeing that, and that's being more valued. So, especially VTubers, a lot of these bigger VTuber artists or VTuber creators are they're working so hard, and I feel like at that point, when even if you're at that top rung of the ladder, that just you have to work harder than ever before, because now you're suddenly having to compete with all of these people with big audiences, and it's even though you have that following, I feel like at any point in that journey it will be a constant fight. But if you're not sitting there and just taking a breather, it's like the quote from The Shining where all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. If you're just working all the time, how are you going to stop and enjoy the moments where you're not working?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Phantom?
I mean, I think that a lot of that can be alleviated from finding something that you really enjoy, and I think there are a lot of people that get into this and it's kind of a hard truth, but I think a lot of people get into it that they aren't really cut out for it, or it's not really what they want to do, one or the other, whichever it may be. And I mean, because let's be real, it's appealing, the idea of having some form of, even if you're behind a model, the idea of having some way, shape, or form of fame is very, very appealing. It's literally in my name. So I I feel like there's some people that push themselves like just super hard, and it just you know, I think some people just really are shooting for the stretch goals, and it's really easy nowadays to just grab a model, start streaming yourself, and not put a lot of thought into the fact that it's like you said, even the people at the top are like, they're working their ass off to like try and stay relevant, because now they're not just competing with bigger VTubers, they're now competing with smaller VTubers, because when you have a chat of 3,000 people, your voice is, you know, it's one of 3,000. But if you were in a chat with, say, I don't know, 22, like we are here, like if someone puts something in chat, I'm gonna see it. We're gonna know. And there's a much higher chance of them being heard, and that's much more appealing in the streaming environment, because you're there, you're active, you're part of it. And I just feel that I feel like there's something to be said for like the fact that VTubing is now for a lot of time. I feel like the fact that VTubing is now more accessible than ever is actually making it harder for those at the top, because they're no longer able to just iron fist, you know, I could get a $30,000 model, and that means that I can do something other people can't do. It's kind of like when YouTube started becoming incredibly popular, and TV shows, like people saw a massive decline in like television and cable providers, because people don't need them anymore. You have streaming services now. I think it's something similar to that.
Yeah, very well put. I mean, it follows back to the adage of, if you work a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Because like for me, I with as I'm doing my audio engineering stuff, every time I go into work, I never feel like I'm working. Like, I'm just like, I just want to go home. It's always I go into work, I'm just like, yay, I get to sit there and I get to label things for like 2 hours, or I get to do inventory on audio equipment and sit there and I just listen to music and just inventory all the audio equipment, and then I just get to look at all that stuff, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, for instance, we have what's called an Avid S6. Now, an Avid S6 is a console. It's a mixing console. You can look it up. That is like very expensive. It's a very expensive console. And so every time I walk into that studio and I'm like, I get to mix audio on this, it's one of those things I'm just like, man, I love my job. And I know a lot of people don't have that privilege. It's just one of those things that if you have the opportunity, find what you can do. And if you can't make money off of it, that's the dream. You know, but especially when it comes to content creation should be something that you love and enjoy, not that you feel like you have to do. You know, and I feel like at that point, if you're really big and you have, you know, thousands of subscribers, and all that, and you're just like, oh, this is no longer fun for me. It's like, well, at that point, I feel like you've made enough work. It's like, it's time for a break, and you've earned it. So, you know, it's certainly a dichotomy of balancing that love of what you do with, am I just trying to get a paycheck?
Yeah, of course.
So
I mean, I think Guaco is a great example where it's like you had some serious shit go down, and you took your time. You took how long were you on break, by the way?
I think it was like just over 2 weeks, I believe.
It wasn't even a month. It was 2 weeks.
Yeah, that sounds right. At least
that's kind of wild.
And
it's a very short amount of time to be able to, you know, walk away and be like, all right, I need time to reset, come back, and then say, all right, cool, we're back in it, we're doing it. Like that right there goes to show that it's like, clearly you have a love for what you're doing, and whether or not this becomes a career or you know, a side hustle, or it remains like a hobby, like that's time will tell. But I think that's something that I don't think a lot of people don't understand, is that it's like, yeah, that takes commitment to be able to reach that level of like, yeah, like I just had like a massive change in my day-to-day, of my life, and I'm gonna take 2 weeks, get in a better space, and oh, look at that, I'm right back on the horse. Like that's very admirable, and I think that's just a testament to the fact that's like, yeah, you are cut out for this. You can do this. That aspect of it is something that I think that's the most of all the things that I think you could be missing to do streaming and doing VTubing. I think that's the one that most people are missing is really the commitment and the fortitude to keep at it.
It certainly is I will say, it can be a slog at times. Now, do I enjoy the slog? Yeah. But like, you just have to find that passion. You have to find how are you going to make yourself push through at the times when it seems like it's hard to continue. And in my experience, taking that break is what really gives you what gave me at least that mental clarity. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I had to stretch a little bit. I was getting a little too comfy in my chair. Freaking those Dr. Peppers just made me jump out every time.
Yeah.
So, pardon me. I guess it's the last question that I have is, since you're trying to balance your personal life and your VTubing aspect, how do you plan to manage and diversify your time, your energy, and your passion differently to avoid that sort of thing from happening again?
Well, I mean, I hope to try and find a remote job, so that way, like, it's more like I'm able to do a little bit at home and stuff like that, or at the very least find a job closer to home, because driving 35 minutes one way to work is horrible.
That's
But
long.
yeah, right. But I'm also just gonna try and spend more of my free time into, like, developing more of my streaming stuff, like, getting more tweets put out, getting more, like, just try and be more active in the community, I guess, is what I've started to notice, is just because, like, I feel like I got burnt out of putting out tweets and stuff like that really quickly, and I feel like I need to get back into that, because that I won't deny that I would love to grow some more and grow my community more, and that's like one of the big things is like seeing myself. Yeah, Salem's putting it great, is it's hard to market yourself, especially if you're like me and you don't like to listen to the sound of your own voice. So, like, making clips of, like, funny moments from clips is like, that just sounds like the worst time for me. But
It's like, oh, that was cringe. No one's gonna like that. Turns out it's one of your best clips.
yeah, like, or it's just like, I don't want to go through my own stream and just be like, all right, so I kind of remember when I said something funny and, like, it got a pretty good reaction, or something like that, and it's just like, I don't want to watch a 3-hour stream of just me saying words. Please no. But this is what I need to do now, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I feel like since the circumstances have changed a little bit, you've learned and you grew from what exactly plagued you. And is this something you'll get over quickly? No. There's a lot of things that, like, for instance, something I'm trying to get over more is that, and trying to fix, is apparently I can hear my breath and I can hear my voice a lot more. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But it's one of those things I'm like, I gotta power through, and I gotta find a way to make that better. But the bottom line is just that you're finding ways to make it work, and you're not letting those things run your perception of how you want to run your ship. Because at the end of the day, your channel, that's your ship, and you are the captain. And so nobody else can take that away from you. I'm trying to get my breath out of audio so much. You're not going to be able to. I'm sorry. Hey, bunny. Welcome. And by welcome,
Good job. Keep
welcome
throwing
back.
Dr. Peppers at Val.
Nailed him.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what drives me, is that I get to see my wonderful community throw Dr. Peppers at me.
It's the head trauma that really just, makes you love it.
Why do you think that I talk about that chart so much? I got hit with so many Dr. Peppers. If I don't have some sort of like damage at this point, I'm gonna blame you guys. Sorry, not sorry. I'm gonna blame my own community for my trash takes because I get hit with Dr. Pepper. I just need Phantom to go, wow, blaming your own community.
No, I blame my community for tons of stuff. It's my favorite thing.
Like what, Phantom?
Have you seen my redeemers? Have you seen that cursed fucking wall of bullshit that grows ever longer?
I do. Yeah,
You're getting unruly.
They do. They do get unruly. Well, Guaco, is there anything else that you want to share for somebody who might want to be going on contemplating a hiatus or a break? Any advice that you'd give?
I think the best thing that you could do if you were going to decide to go into a hiatus is definitely make sure that you establish a little line of what you feel that your community should know. Like, if you are somebody that likes to share a lot, I feel like if you are going to do that, create yourself a little thing that's just like the Spark Notes version or Cliff Notes, and then also give the whole thing, because I will say that there are people that tend to overshare when they go on hiatus, because they do want they do feel that their community should know their entire story, and that is something that I admire in people, but there are some people that it's just like this could be an issue for me. So but when you're gonna go on hiatus, just kind of letting your community know. And if you're gonna go on hiatus, like, it's fine. I can tell you right now, you are not going to, like, if you are thinking like, oh, I'm growing so much, I can't afford to go on hiatus, I'm getting 10 followers or whatever a stream, like, it's it's fine. They will be there for you when you get back. I can almost guarantee it. Like, your community will love and support you through the entire thing. They are the nicest. Your community that you build is, well, it's your community, and you know that your community will stand by there for you. By you. English is hard, but
would it help if
your community will be there for you? No, it actually may make it harder. But yeah, no, just your community will always be there for you, and just remember that when you go on hiatus, it's a big thing. People will always be worried that, like, oh, I don't want to go on hiatus because I've gotten so much done, and just like it's worth it. It helps your mental a lot.
Well, something I was gonna piggyback onto that is your audience. You don't, and this is one of the things that I learned a little bit, probably like 2 months after I started streaming, was it's a hard thing to tell your audiences, I don't owe you anything. And what I mean by that is, if something pops up and I say I need to take a break, I don't need to explain the ins and outs of it. Well, it's a courtesy, and it's nice to know the reason why. At the end of the day, all your community can do is be like, oh, okay, well, please be safe. And I feel like that's something people who want to make this decision, it's something they should think about, is that you don't owe your community anything. Just you being there is enough. And that's what they want. They don't follow you because you make these posts or you make the content. At a certain point, they realize they follow you because they like you and they like who you are. And that's kind of the long and the short of it.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. Yeah.
What do you think, Phantom? Any last words on that?
No, I think you guys summed it up pretty well.
Well, I want you to sum it up now.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of been said and done. Where it's like, yeah, there are times where you have to prioritize yourself, and there are times where you have to put yourself aside and say, okay, this is for the community. And I think that a lot of people fail to find that balance, and I think when people do, they start really enjoying streaming, and those are usually the people who grow. Because, like Guaco was saying, it's like people are starting to take mental health more seriously, and that's something that's been ignored for a long time. I think it's something that people are kind of exaggerating nowadays a little too much, kind of going a little past it, but it doesn't change the fact that the reason that we are where we are, where we literally have like he was mentioning SAD earlier, SAD, seasonal affectionate, was it is it seasonal affected depression? I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but they literally have light bulbs now that help combat like seasonal depression, which is just insane. So it's like, yeah, we're in a good place. We're moving forward, and I think it's important to balance putting yourself first and also managing expectations of your community, and saying like, yeah, there are sacrifices that we'll make. Obviously, subathons are, like, as weird as it sounds, you are sacrificing your time. You're essentially saying, okay, I'm not going to make plans for X amount of time, because if you guys support me, then I will keep going. And every time you support me, I will add more time on. Like, that is, as much as, like, you know, there is a fiscal aspect to it, like, you're still gating off all that time for it.
Yeah, very well put. Well, Guaco, before we get to our final questions, like the little conclusion part, is there anything that you want to talk about? Any cool projects besides the ones you previously mentioned? Anything that has happened recently that you feel like would be fun to mention?
I mean, I don't really have anything too exciting in the works that like I didn't already, you know, go into some detail with. So I actually don't have anything, surprisingly.
Hey, that's fair. Sometimes, honestly, I feel like when you don't have anything planned and you just kind of throw yourself out there and do it, I feel like that's something a huge part of the emerging VTuber community should, and just content creation in general, is go on that spur of the moment and just be like, I'm gonna do this today and I'm gonna see how it pans out. Because I feel like that's something that I really admire that Phantom did a lot when he first started. Just he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do it. And we'll see how it'll
Jump
go.
on in.
Jump on in. And he gained a lot of traction because of it. Because like sometimes a written plan is not always the best answer. You know?
you just gotta throw away the plan. It's occasional. Exactly.
Now, chat.
Everyone like.
What is it you want to see this man do? If you had the power to, what do you want to see Guaco do? You want to see an entire stream as Kermit the Frog? He'll do it. I know he will. Right, Guaco?
Yeah. Well, actually,
no.
No, actually, there is this thing that once I hit 225, I'm changing my follower goal to Phantom. There is a follower goal that I do plan to make for when I hit 300. Is a Kermit karaoke stream.
Oh my gosh.
It's not gonna be a long one, but because doing Kermit for that long is horrible. But it was brought up one stream, and I'm like, I commit to the bit. I'll do it.
There you go. And
so that'll probably be a variety stream kind of day, and that's the plan.
And John, when I say don't have a plan, I more mean not like all the time. Like, it's good to have a plan. I'm just saying sometimes there are moments where just like, I'm just gonna full send it and just do it and see what happens. But yes, having a plan would always be good, relatively speaking. So, you know. But we are in the final 10 minutes of our show. And I think it's fun. I think it's time for us to go to our final group of questions. These are rapid fire questions, and by rapid fire I mean we're going to take our time with these. So, these 10 questions are: How dare you? How dare you do that at the very end of the show? Where's my timer? I'm so sorry, Guaco. I'm so sorry.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not sorry for Phantom though. Phantom gets to hear this every time we stream. What do you mean?
Do I?
How do I even do that?
We're gonna find out.
I don't. Guaco, I will do the femboy. I'm going to reject your Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh no.
But that's only because with these last questions, I'll delay the femboy mode. But that's the thing is, with these last 10 questions, I like to keep it relatively serious.
Okay, that's fair.
Where is it? So, you keep those points for now. Oh, I can't refund you the Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh no, I don't care. It's fine. I'll watch.
Don't worry.
I'll watch enough of your streams to get it back.
No, I'll just if you hop into one of my streams and tell me you owe me, or I owe you one. Yeah, we'll call that. Sound good?
I like the idea of.
Hell yeah, sounds great.
Sound good. So like I said, because these 10 questions, they're a little more. While there isn't a right or wrong answer, I like to make them still a little more serious. So, these 10 questions were created and revised by James Lipton, famous actor, director, writer, on his TV show Inside the Actor Studio, with his actor guests that he would ask at the very end of every episode. Now these questions, they're 10 questions. There is no right, there's no wrong answer. Just whatever you're feeling like in the moment. So we'll start with the very first question is, Guaco, what is your favorite word?
Just
Is that it?
7.
7. Why is that?
I don't know. That's like my go-to word. If I'm being completely honest,
Goodness, thank you, Rex, for the raid. Heck yeah.
Sometimes
And
people walk up
Genevieve.
to you and you're just like, 7?
Ah,
that's what happens, Phantom. I'm gonna be honest. That's what happens.
both of them raided. Well, thank you, Rex.
I
Thank you, Genevieve.
Can't wait.
Pardon me for 1 second, my guys. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much. Fun fact, Rex and Genevieve were 2 wonderful guests that we've had on this show. So please go show them some love and some support. Let me just do this. There's that. Heck yeah. Ah! So there's that. We were on a date, Jen and I. Oh, that's nice. Well, ain't that wonderful. Playing, Sonic All-Stars Racing. I think I saw that tweet. Oh, where's that second shout out? I'm gonna be a little sad. I'm a little sad boy.
Little sad boy.
Oh, heck yeah. Hopefully we got a new awesome outfit, Genevieve. So anywho, well, thank you guys so much. My name is Val. This is my VTuber talk show, the VOD, and we're asking Guaco here the 10 questions we ask at the end of every episode. So Guaco, you said, I did, Rex loved it. Oh, that's awesome. Heck yeah. So you said 7, why 7?
It's just like my go-to answer for so many things whenever people like ask me a question, and like whenever it's my no think answer. And it's just that I think that means it's my favorite word, at the very least.
All right. So what is your least favorite word?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that one's kind of self-explanatory when we talked about pizza earlier, so
All right. right, moving on to the next question. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Like, I think like fantasy.
Ooh.
It just really makes me think. I like fantasy a lot.
Fantasy is good. Now, the inverse of that, what turns you off?
Politics.
Honestly, same. You don't need to explain that.
That's not like no explanation needed. Just politics. Ugh.
What? This will probably be a fun one. What is your favorite curse word?
Oh man. I am quite partial to fuck.
Seems a lot of people are.
It's a good one. It's very, very versatile, so quite enjoy.
Yeah. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh wait, actually, do you mind if I play something on a soundboard? I have a good one.
Sure.
Go for it.
Nice.
It's a great answer.
That was. Oh, it's that one. That's right.
Big fan of that one. It's a good one.
Why is that?
I just recently discovered it, and it has become like my go-to sound.
Oh my
so many
ears.
things. But yeah, I think it has an application for everything as well, so it works out great.
What is a sound or noise that you hate?
I mean, it feels like too much of a basic answer to say like nails on a chalkboard or something like that.
I mean, that's a good one though.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I can tell you exactly what I hate. When my neighbor upstairs just like is walking too violently or something.
I used to live on the second floor of my building, and I know exactly what that sounds like.
Yeah, that is it. That is something that I hate.
All right. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I think accounting maybe, or maybe a writer. Either of those. They're two very different, but both of those would be awesome.
Accounting or writing? You know, CPAs make good money, but it's also a lot of stress, and I'm not good with numbers.
I'm great with numbers. Numbers is one of the few things that horrible at English, great at numbers.
Well, everybody always needs a tax accountant.
That's true.
So what profession would you not like to do?
Can I like name drop a specific company?
Damn.
Sure.
Yes.
There is a company called Lightbuzz. I want nothing to do with anything that they do.
What is that? Is body tracking?
They make shapewear for women or people with female presenting body parts. And at my old job, I used to scan their returns, basically. Like I used to process their returns. And I got I would handle more than 50 in like we would handle at least 200 to 300 a day. And like all of them are like each one would have at least 2 items in each package that was returned. So if you think about it that way, that's so many returns, and also 97% of them are worn because they come with this little file thing that says was too small, which means they tried it on. And you know, if you're gonna send clothing back, 90% of the time you're not gonna wash it. So just I've handled so much of their product that I want nothing to do with them for the rest of my life.
Oh, there you go, folks. A light buzz. All right, our very last question of this set is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You did exactly what you were supposed to.
That's a good one. It's much more, I feel like it's much more grounded than the what are you doing here? Like those kinds of responses that we get. And that's okay. Those are really funny responses. I just like the diversity we get to have with that question.
Yeah, I thought about doing the funny thing of just like, you know, what do you want God to say? I want him to say, you know, shabba labba ding dong, or the entire B movie script or something like that. But you know.
That's funny. Well, this has been a lot of fun, Guaco. It has been a long time we've been anticipating and having fun with. So, thank you for being a part of this and being a part of the show. I really appreciate it. Not to mention, I really hope that you enjoy this last day on your hiatus and that we wish you the best of luck. We even got you a little parting gift. It's, you can take it home.
Is it the edibles I heard about?
No, it's the food flow chart.
Oh, great. Yes, that's what I've always wanted.
You can take it home, hang it on your wall, hang it on your fridge. And if you don't like that, here's that cookie cake.
Oh, hell yeah. That's exactly what I wanted, the cookie cake.
Heck yeah. All right, let me get those raid messages going. But in the meantime, Phantom, you know what time it is.
Of course, time for the final question. Guaco, who would you like to rate?
I would love to rate my model mama. She just recently had her debut on her new model. Her handle is Riot Empress.
Perfect. Put that in the chat. All right, guys.
Twitch chat.
Twitch chat.
Okay.
All right. Well, that first one is for our wonderful subscribers. That second one is for our followers. So, you guys are wonderful. Like, honestly, I think this has been the most successful episode of the VOD yet. We're 35. Dang. You guys are wonderful.
People are excited for Guaco's return, man.
Yeah, it's Return of the King.
Return of the Lord, actually.
Return of the Lord.
Yes, my liege.
Yes. So, anywho, please join us on, please join us on Friday night as we get to, oh, catnips, it's the second one. The second one is for followers. I like your enthusiasm.
The second one.
I like your enthusiasm, though. But yeah, join us next Friday as we get to have Nymphy with us as our guest at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that said, my name is Val. This is the Phantom Fame as my wonderful co-host. Go support him. And this is Guaco VT. So please, guys, go support these two wonderful individuals, and especially go support Guaco as he comes back from his hiatus tomorrow. With that, God bless. Have a wonderful... Okay. Thank you for the follow, Catnips. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness. But yeah,
Always a treasure to have the dissonance between the panicked emotion Val and then being like, what the hell was that? And then seeing the Dr. Pepper come out of nowhere.
Yeah. So anywho, I love you all. Know that you exist, you matter, you are loved, and that we see you. And that have a nice crispy Dr. Pepper on me. With that in mind, I will see you guys either next Friday for the VOD or on Monday as I am playing Elden Ring with Phantom. So anywho,
yep.
Bye-bye. Oh, join the Discord as well. I almost forgot to say. Join the Discord. Discord's cool. Okay, we've dawdled long enough. That's on me. I talk too much. Okay, bye-bye.